So come on up close to the fire. It's very cold over here in the tundra. Come join us up front. Hi everybody, welcome. We're glad to have you here. We'll start promptly in about a minute, or when thunder says go. Hi Ellie. Come sit up front by the fire, it's beautiful. Okay, so according to my clock, it's 10 o'clock. What do you think, Spiff?
Let me check. It is indeed. So
Let's synchronize our watches.
All right. And do we have the speakeasy ready?
Yes, I am ready. Here are the notes for our presentation. We're going to be putting them into local chat for you and speaking them.
Okay. Welcome everyone. My name is Spiff Whitfield. With me is my awesome sidekick, Serena.
Did you say awesome?
I did. Yes. And we are honored and really happy to be presenting at VWBPE 2023. Big shout out, of course, to the executive and the organization committee for making the conference such an awesome success as always. I know Serena and many of the people in this room are a part of that committee, so I know you put in tons of work outside of the events of today. So again, thank you. Excellent work.
And a shout out to our streamer, Thunder, who's got us all on video. Get my good side, Thunder.
And of course, no conference would be complete without all of the amazing participants, so we're really glad that all of you are here. This presentation will tell you about the virtual pioneers.
I forgot the note card.
Oh yes, we need that note card.
So we had
one job. We have a note card for you, so no need to take notes. We'll give you all the information you need about our awesome group and how you can become a part of it if you'd like. So please type any questions you have in local chat and we will address them as we go.
Oh boy. After I'll run back and get it, I left it at the Virtual Pioneer headquarters.
Okay.
So anyway, I won't have to present with you next year if I screw up too badly. So Spiff and I are really such a great team, and we want to let you know who we are in Second Life. Virtual Pioneers is actually one of the oldest educational groups in Second Life. It was started by Spiff in 2007 when he was a brand new newbie avatar. And he went to visit the Lincoln homestead. My understanding of the story is that he was chatting with people in his school district and realized that there was so much to offer in Second Life around history and cultures, and people that know Spiff know he's a bit of a little history buff. So he decided to start a group called the Virtual Pioneers, which is pretty cool because Tom mentioned the word pioneer in his presentation, so I thought that was really great. This picture that you see on the slideshow right now, oh hi Tom, you're here, yay, is a picture of us at our main building or headquarters. We don't know exactly what to call it. If you look closely, way in the background, you can see that Spiff's grandmother lives at our headquarters, so she keeps track of things for us there. And you can see some of the virtual pioneers in the picture getting ready to go on a tour. So it's a really great place that we hang out before we leave for a tour. The globe that you see in the middle of the picture is on our coffee table, and it always holds a note card that tells people about the tour that we're about to embark on. And Ellie has presented there to us, which we'll be talking about later. So this is a great picture that just captures kind of the relaxed nature of our meetings. So here we go. I forgot to hit the, there we go.
Just to add a little bit of color to that, the beginnings of this, I'm a former elementary teacher, as is Serena. And I think for me as an elementary teacher, social studies was always the most difficult topic to, I think, or one of the more difficult topics to bring to kids. So I think that's what sparked my interest in virtual environments as well, for history learning and teaching. So just a little extra to that.
Thank you, Spiff.
So our next slide is about the team that we have. Of course, no organization runs just on one person, and our organization, of course, is no different. So this slide, we called it the It Takes a Village slide. And first of all, it's a special thanks to Rockcliffe for letting us rent on their land. So they've been a great host for us, and we love our new space. And we'd also like to thank our past hosts. We've had a couple different other people that have hosted our group. First was the University of Maine's Black Bear Island. And then,
which is since gone.
Yeah, sadly. And Edu Islands was a host for us for years as well. Always really good. Gave us a nice little plot of land. And, you know, in general, a big part of our success and longevity is the amazing team that helps us with communications and outreach. Our communications, you can see their picture up here on the slide. First of all, we have Jackson. We have Beth Ghostraven as Jackson Dressler, I think. Beth Ghostraven and Zelda Ravenhurst. And they're the ones that promote our events and outreach through social media and our Second Life channels. And these roles, to be honest, are essential. And I know for those of you who have groups here in Second Life, you could probably agree. They're essential for not only keeping our members informed, but to reach out to new members. And the proof of this success is that we usually have at least 5 new members show up at each meeting, which is always great to see. So it's nice to get some new people coming and stopping in, and most of the times they come back. So Sarah Timeless, I also want to give a big shout out to, because she is a great supporter of all that is historical in Second Life. So she not only is part of our group, but she's part of many other groups and does a lot of history projects. And she's helped us decorate our new space in particular. And she's almost like our historian in a sense, because she keeps up to date the landmark givers of past tours right at our VP building. So if you want to find out where we've been and what we've been up to, you can just go to our landmark area, and she has the note card that we used, as well as the landmarks. And of course, Second Life changes over time, and sometimes the landmarks aren't there, but it still provides kind of a history for us. So please come and visit our space, for nothing else than if you're looking for a fun place, like in the destinations folder of history or culture, you'll find it there. So Sarah's touch is also on much of what she did. I know she helped Serena with a lot of the decoration and that sort of thing as well. So that is our team, and it's always great to have a good group of people that work well together, and we kind of divide and conquer all the things that we need to do. So the virtual pioneers are grateful to so many communities who have welcomed us and tour their spaces, and our group members, and to our group members who show up and tour with us regularly.
That's a good point, Spiff, is that we couldn't do this without the communities that invite us into basically their homes. We like to visit a lot of role-playing communities and communities that honor cultures from around the world. I just want to say I made a very quick note card giver, this red box, if someone would test it for me. Now, this is an example of Second Life being great because I didn't have to hop in my car and drive home to get my notes that I forgot. They were right in my inventory. So, oh, good. Thank you, Beth.
This is my slide too here. Uh, so our space and our meetings. So we meet from September to June every other Sunday night. In general, 5 to 6 p.m. SL time. Sometimes, to accommodate our guests, we change that time. Forgive me for the dog. We rent a lovely space at Rockcliffe, and every tour or event starts in our meeting.
Yep, I hear you, dog. I think he muted himself.
Yeah, so, yes. So every tour event starts with our meeting room, and we travel together to the experience, the history, and the culture found in SL. I'm sorry about the dog. Serena, I'll let you take over here for a second.
Okay, great. So our goal in this presentation is to share with you a little bit about Virtual Pioneers, but also to share with you some of the events that we have hosted recently. If you missed any of these tours, remember that the landmarks are available at our building, and hopefully on the note card in this beautiful red box beside me, there's a landmark to our building, and you're welcome to go there anytime and poke around. One of the things that I don't think we mentioned much, well, Spiff might mention it soon, but we do have a recreation of the Anne Frank Annex there. That's one of Spiff's major interests, is the Diary of Anne Frank, and he'll be telling you about that in the book group. So while Spiff tames his dog, I'm going to just talk a little bit about dressing up in Second Life, because that's one of the things that we all love to do in Second Life is to, my friend Thunder calls it play Barbie, but that's, I guess for guys it would be Ken. And we often go to Sims that have a historical basis, so they ask, yeah, He-Man, all right, I like that, Thunder. They asked us to come in period clothing. And the next slide that, I don't know if I can change the slideshow or not. Let me see if I can while Spiff works with his dog. I don't know.
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. So anyway, this is a picture of people.
Which one do you want? Do you want
That's okay.
There we go.
This is a picture of people dressed up in, I hate to call it costume, I guess period attire for a trip that we were going on. There's lots of great things on the marketplace that you can get. A lot of times the Sims that we go to offer freebies to us, which is nice. Yeah. Period clothing, thank you, yeah. But if you don't have anything like that, we do have a little freebie shop. And we have some great people who have contributed to our freebie shop and put out a lot of nice things for you. Norma Underwood has given us a lot. I'm trying to catch up with the speakeasy here. I'm terrible at all this multitasking. So there's our freebie shop, and thank you to our contributors. There's lots of nice things in there. There's things for system avatars and for mesh both. And if you know anyone who's a creator and might like to add to our freebie shop, please feel free to have them contact either Spiff or I. And we always welcome new clothes. Who doesn't want new clothes? So now Spiff is going to tell you about the Anne Frank Diary Book Club.
Thanks, Serena. So one of our projects, and let me kind of read through what we have. We started this year was a new offering. It was called the Anne Frank Book Club. which was, in my mind, a cross-pollination of a couple educational groups in Second Life, specifically our group, the Virtual Pioneers, the VWEC, Virtual Worlds Education Consortium, and the Community Virtual Library, CVL, run by Val Librarian. These group members met several times in the fall and read from the tragic yet powerful book, The Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank. And we had readings of excerpts from the book from various participants. We had discussions, and then we visited several Holocaust-related sims. Our own space has a has an annex recreation, so we'd welcome you to come to our virtual pioneer space and see that. And that was created primarily by Serena and TechPlex Engineer. There's also, if you've never seen this space, the U.S. Memorial Holocaust Museum. That is still around. It's one of, I think, the most powerful exhibits in Second Life. It was an original kind of part of Second Life when it first came on, and it's still there and still really good. And then, of course, there's an Amsterdam sim that has a really nice look and feel of Amsterdam today, but then it'll also give you a recreation of the secret annex as well. It's really well done.
I was
So,
wondering if
yeah,
anyone in the audience was part of that book club. Anybody here who participated in it? Oh, good, Beth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Great, Val. Oh, good. Good, Frederic. It's great to have people, and to some, great. Yeah, I
yeah.
just went to a couple myself. It was a busy time in my life, but Spiff did a great job facilitating that.
Well, it was, a lot of work, but it was a lot of benefit on the flip side, because it was really great hearing people read excerpts and then have conversations, and I think it added a whole new level to a book club that you wouldn't have ordinarily. So I really like the idea of book clubs, and I'm hoping we can do more of those in the future. So
And so nice to be able to do field trips in Second Life to other sims like Amsterdam and the Holocaust Museum. And if
yeah,
people are interested in going to those, again, Sear has the landmarks available at our building. Excuse me, Spiff.
well, that's okay. So yeah, it's like I said, that's been, for me personally, it's one of the early books that I read as a kid that really struck home. And so it was nice to be able to kind of bring Anne's story, which should never be forgotten, to life in a different and unique way.
Great. Thank you, Spiff. So next I'm going to tell you about one of our tried and true tour guides, Ellen of Sparta, who many of you know. She has done several tours for us. She actually keeps track of them. I think she was on number 7 or so. But her Sims are incredible. She puts a lot of detail into it, a lot of work, a lot of history. She carries an amazing amount of knowledge with her about Rome and Greek architecture. She hosts a wonderful role play community that several of our members have joined at different times, and she leads it with a lot of energy and efforts. Um, I'm trying to think. I know that she has Rome and Greek. What else does she have, Spiff, on her Sims? She just opened a new one.
Yeah, it's so advanced. There's so much. It really is a treasure trove.
Yeah, and what a great thing about Second Life to be able to travel back in history. Yeah, it's amazing, Val, I agree. Um, Plus you have a chance to wear those beautiful togas and outfits. I love the outfits from that time period. So if you haven't had a chance to visit her Sims, she's very welcoming. Oh my goodness, that's amazing, Lizard.
Yeah, and I
She's
think,
very, go ahead,
yeah,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Yeah, I think too, she does some presentations from time to time. I know she did I think it was a 2 or 3 part series on Alexander the Great,
Hmm.
and it was really, again, well researched and well done. The sim in general, just so you know, is really a role play community. So it's not by its design just I mean, it's history by immersive means, but if you go there, you definitely want to dress in time period specific thing because it is meant to be a role play sim.
Dex, I'd be really interested in seeing your holodeck scene sometime. That would be great. Has anyone here ever been to Alexandria? Any firsthand knowledge? Oh, good. Yeah, it's an amazing place. Yeah, I think you would love it. It's just great. Yeah. So good. Well, thank you to Ellen. She's not here, but she's always online, so be sure to look her up.
Yeah, she has great resource. So one of our other tours this year was Rungvardek, and I'm sure I'm not getting that right, but it was a Viking settlement, and this was a really neat little kind of recreation of 12th century Norse culture on the coast of Norway. And so we learned about Vikings and their culture, and it had a lot of rich details, and there's a lot of vast opportunities for learning. They have a lot of kind of events and fun there. It's a really nice sim. It gave us a real kind of comfortable. It was really nice. I think it was right around winter time that we went, so it's kind of had that nice wintry historical flavor.
I love the Sims that change with the seasons. That's such a gift. Although I'm ready for spring. Let's get out of the Arctic tundra here.
I know.
Did anybody go on that with us? Any Vikings in the audience? That was such a great tour. I'm sure you did, Thunder. Yeah, Beth, you were there. That was great. So good. I'm glad to see that some people here have been to some of these places. And if you haven't, again, be sure to check them out. So I think that it's my turn to talk about Paris 1900. And this was an example of the challenge of time zones. We could not get a tour guide to meet us in Paris 1900. So we did a self-guided tour. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. It's 5 Sims. It's a replica of the whole city of Paris. You can go to the Eiffel Tower, to Notre Dame Cathedral, to the Louvre. There's just all sorts of things to go there. They have all interesting modes of transportation to get around, and it's very, very interesting. And again, you get to dress in really beautiful clothing to, of course, tour Paris in 1900. Sometimes if we can't arrange for a tour guide, we do these self-guided tours, and we find little nooks and crannies to explore as a group. And of course, love to take pictures. So there's lots of Spiff. I think you keep a Flickr page, is that right, for Virtual Pioneers?
Yeah, there is a Flickr page, but I found most people don't use it as much or come to it. But where we do post a lot of our images is on our Facebook page, so I'll put a link to it there. But Zelda is amazing at taking pictures. I post some pictures as well, but as Serena can tell you, I get kind of distracted sometimes. And,
yeah, I noticed that.
so, but Zelda takes really good pictures, and I think she has a much better computer than I do. So,
Yeah.
our Facebook is really the best place to that we chronicle, as well as just our general virtualpioneers.org page. She also posts the links to really all of our social media sites, but so
And I
lots of
believe
links.
that some pictures are on our webpage, which the link to the webpage is on the note card in the beautiful red box right here.
In that Paris 1900, just in case you're not familiar, that's again one of the original Sims I remember coming to when I first came to Second Life, and so it's been around for quite some time, and they've been keeping it going. And it used to be more, I think, meant for entertainment rather than history, but I think as over time they've developed more of a historical feel to it. So it's a really great Sim.
It's really beautiful. I agree. I love going there. So I'm going to tell you now about our winter social. One of the things that the Virtual Pioneers try to do every year is have some sort of social event, and it varies. We've had a fashion show, we've had all kinds of themed dances and parties. Sorry, Dex, I was reading what you wrote. That would be great, Dex. I would love to see that. But please know that we're not just all fun and games. We do a lot of learning in Second Life, but we do like to get together and socialize with each other and get to know each other. It's been really fun for me to meet people from all around the world through the Virtual Pioneers. I have all sorts of people on my friend list that are, yeah, nudges Spiff a little bit to, who I've met through setting up these tours, and people are so welcoming to us when we visit a sim or have a social. We meet all sorts of interesting people, and I think that's one of the really strong benefits of Second Life is the people. And again, I'm going to refer to Tom's presentation, is that the people we meet in Second Life are real friends to us and real people to us. And I love that, I always think of, for example, Ellen of Sparta of as like this Roman goddess, and people are so involved in their role play, and it's inspiring. So if we have a social, you're all welcome. DJ Cause does a great job for us. He always plays music that gets us feeling lively and moving, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I also like to just give, compliments to Serena because she does a lot of the work putting together the scenery and stuff. We usually have it somewhere on our sim, usually on a platform above our
Yes,
location.
Skybox.
So,
Well,
uh,
everyone knows that I am the brains of Virtual Pioneers, and you're just the good-looking front
yes,
face.
I'm just the eye candy. Um, so, but yes, the socials are a really nice way to just kind of break away, and they usually are at good times of the year. Our winter one was just kind of nice to bring us together in the warmth of our home, but to have some fun, and the music's good and the company's even better.
So I'm just noticing Day and Beth talking about how they knew each other for a long time before they actually met at a real life conference, and how you just feel like you know people.
That's very true.
So
Okay.
Steph is going to tell us about our next tour we went on, which I thought was very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, this one was, again, what's kind of nice about our group and the tours is each tour has a flavor of its own. This one, the Thai Culture Society, was really more of almost a museum quality presentation. So there were a lot of exhibits and a lot of, clickable links, note cards. So you were presented with a lot of information. I think there was 3 floors worth of historical context. So Somyan, resident, hosted our tour, and it's an ongoing project about Thai culture. And their focus is on art traditions with historical context. And I think, again, to do a little sidebar, a lot of the, or many of the tours that we do somehow kind of bring together architecture and art. So that's, again, another nice cultural relevancy that we get with our tours. So the location is a flooded valley near the Tenasserim Mountains of southern Thailand, and they have a custom-built museum and a reproduction of the prayer hall at Wat Suthot Temple in Bangkok. So definitely, you can go see it. You really can tour it if you go to our site and get our note card for it. You can get a lot of information just on your own, but it was really nice to have Pam and Samyan give us a tour personally to give us that extra expertise.
I just want to mention to Spiff, the note card that's in the red box has landmarks to all the
Perfect.
different tours that we're mentioning in this presentation, so
Okay.
you don't have to go search for them at our site. And I love in Second Life when people recreate something from the real world, something that, for example, the Eiffel Tower. I'll never go to the Eiffel Tower. I think it's really a chance for me to experience things, for all of us to experience things that we may not ever experience in real life. Okay, so now it's my turn to talk here. So one of the things that we always do at Virtual Pioneers is we have the executive committee come and talk to us about this conference. We like to promote this conference because it's a very, as you know, amazing conference here in Second Life. The Virtual Pioneers have been part of it since I can remember. I remember the first one that I went to, it was in a desert. It was Arabian theme, Arabian. I don't know how to say that, but anyway, do you remember that, Spiff? That was a long time ago. And I just remember we put out
Don't
free
remember.
water bottles for
Oh
people
yeah. Oh yeah.
because we were in a desert.
That's
But
right.
anyway, it's amazing to get a little sneak peek at the conference from Ellie and LV, and sometimes Phelan's able to come, and they always come and tell us. And it was great this year because we had some new members who hadn't heard about the conference and got people interested, and also got people willing to maybe set up an exhibit or do a poster. So we like to encourage the Virtual Pioneers to be part of this conference whenever possible. So thank you everybody for being here. And I'm going to move us to our next slide.
Okay. So the next tour we went on was really, if you want to talk about, creating a mood to a sim, this tour of London was a perfect example of that. You can see even in the picture the foggy, London fog, for lack of a better phrase, and that's really what this tour was, and it was a really good one. Let me just I'll read it and then maybe we can add to it. So this was a special tour of London at the turn of the 20th century. Our tour guide was the sim owner Mitch Charon. We began at Virtual Pioneers headquarters and got an introduction of how this sim came to be, its building considerations, its purpose, and status. Then we tour visited the sim and stopped at various landmarks and explained the historical connections. Much of it is about World War One and London, UK during that era. And the last stop was the Victorian Quarter, which was an overview of Whitechapel. Of course, if you're a student of history and murder mysteries, that's where Jack the Ripper, aka Walter Sickert, there's a display there. And so we got a little bit of a murder mystery with our history.
That's really cool. And how did the sim come to be, Spiff? I wasn't at that.
I think originally it was meant to be to discuss World War One, London. So that's its original design, but they eventually tailored into the Jack the Ripper stuff because, of course, that offers a little more intrigue.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing all sorts of typos in my speakeasy, but I'll ignore them.
I know.
Did anybody here go on that? Because I was not able to go. I just was wondering, because that was at a different time. It was because the sim owner, oh good, Sear. The sim owner
Yeah, it was
is
an early
in the
one.
UK. Yeah. Yeah. Oh good. Oh, hi, Lovejoy. I didn't see you here. Oh good. Sear, I hope you were here when we were singing your praises. We can back up again if you missed it. But thank you for all you do for us.
Absolutely.
Okay, AFK, there's another Second Life thing, right? That you don't get to do at a staff meeting at your school. All right, I'm going to tell you about our latest tour that we went on. We went to a really beautiful little sim called New Victoria. Victory, I guess.
Victory.
Victory, sorry about that. And this was really fun because the sim owner has never used voice on his sim, and he used voice with us. So all sorts of people who are residents there came just to hear the mayor, in quotation marks, use voice. And it's an interesting little community that's sort of post-Victorian, Edwardian, beautiful clothing, beautiful buildings. It's really well set up. He has been in Second Life quite a long time and was inspired by other Sims that have since closed and opened this one and gave us a really nice tour of the Sim. I would highly recommend it. The people that live there are so friendly and everything is set up so nicely, and I love that there's like little details all about town that just add to the ambiance. One little piece is that they recently had a very suspicious murder there and found a body floating in the river. So there's a little story there, which is always fun. And they have events um, like spring fling type dance parties and all in period time. And Sear Timeless told us about this. She's friends with the owner, I believe, the mayor. And did anybody go on that? I think Thunder was there, and I know Beth was there.
And
But
Dave was there as well.
yeah, and Frederic, it's a really sweet sim. And Day went. Day is one of our people that always shows up for our presentations. It's great. Oh, good. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? They had yeah, I think voice adds a lot because you can don't have to read so much for one thing. They have a very active and lively community, I agree. And one of the members somehow made herself into a horse. I don't know exactly how she did that, but she like pulled a carriage around and gave people rides in a fancy little carriage. Yeah, that's right, Day.
Yeah, that was a nice way to tour.
So she's a horse avatar, Beth. That's amazing. I've never considered that. I have a horse I can ride, but I've never. Yeah, I thought that she did that in other Sims, Beth. Thanks. Thanks for telling us about that. So anyway, I would highly recommend that you take a visit over there. They do have residential rentals. They have all sorts of art museums. The people are really friendly. They have a magazine that they put out that's called The Cogwheel. That is, actually they want to put one of their dispensers at the Virtual Pioneer building because they just love our group so much, I guess, Biff. But it's a really well built. I would highly recommend that. Maybe because it's just fresh in my memory, but I really loved it. All right, so moving onward.
Yeah, that was had a nice feel to it. Okay, so I guess we're at the point where we've highlighted our year and just some of the tours that we went on just this year, but our group has been going since 2007, so we've been on a lot of tours and done a lot of things. So we hope that this has intrigued you. We hope that this is a group that you'd be interested in stopping by. We don't take attendance. We don't charge for admission. We just like to kind of explore new places. So we're a group that we feel if you have any interest in history and culture, which I think most people do, feel free to join us. I think, again, we love having new members. We'll say hello and go on new tours. So we have a group joiner available on the stage. Do we get that set up?
No, I don't have that, but I put it in local chat.
Okay. And
I
so,
got that back at the
yeah,
building
so
too.
feel free to, of course, I am myself or Serena. We are kind of I guess, the founders. And of course, we're happy to answer questions. And please visit our sim. Again, it's free and available for you to just come and take a tour and look around. Click on some of our tours in the past, as we've said, as Sarah has created. So, and again, there is the Anne Frank Annex there that you can come and look at. So our group, we really want to be as welcoming and open. And if you come across a great historical sim or a cultural landmark in Second Life, we're always looking for new tours. It's again to sing Serena's praises. She's kind of our tour organizer, which is a lot of work because I've done just a couple and I've found it takes a lot to make sure you're following up with everybody and making sure everybody's on track. But feel free to just drop Serena specifically or myself a line and say, hey, I came across this great historical sim. We're always looking for new places to go. Most people are so welcoming to us and help us. So please join us.
I'm nudging you a little bit, Spiff. People are asking for the next slide, please.
Oh, yes. And
See what a great team we are.
yes. We are.
So if anybody has any questions from the audience, if not, please be sure to get a note card from this red box beside me. On it, you'll find all sorts of landmarks and information about our website. One thing that we've started doing is advertising our tours on the event guide of Second Life, and I think that has helped to get some new people to join. So if you know people who are interested in history or cultures that you think might enjoy joining our group, please send them our way. And we really thank everybody for coming. It's so great to see people that we know here and new people and all sorts of people. And Tom, I'm very honored to have you here as the keynote. Your keynote was fabulous. And thank you to all the people who organized the conference and people who are presenting at the conference. This is one of the greatest things that happens in Second Life, in my opinion. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Spiff, for being patient with me for getting everything. So Buffy has a question, Spiff. I'll let you answer that.
Okay, let me take a look. We have kind of a core group, Buffy, that shows up pretty regularly, but again, as I had mentioned earlier, almost every time we get together, we have, I would say, probably 4 to 5 new members that just show up, and that's always nice. Again, a lot of times they'll come back. It's not always the case, which again, I think isn't a bad thing. If they can come for the tours that are interesting to them, they'll come, but I think our core group, we probably have about 15 that are pretty regular, wouldn't you say, Serena?
I would say so. I usually tell the people who give us the tours that we have between 12 and 15 people that come. So do you find that too, Buffy? Most of your communities? I really like that we have new people, though, and exactly that you have a core group, but there are people who show up. For example, Zelda came to a meeting with a friend who is often at our meetings and liked it so much she now is part of our communication team and does a lot of our promoting for us. So sometimes it just clicks for people. Exactly. Yeah. So I know that everyone here is involved in some amazing Second Life groups, and it's so nice to have you come and hear about the Virtual Pioneers. And I know that I've been kind of on the outskirts of some of the other groups here, but I'm really glad to see people. So we're running right close to schedule here. I do want to mention that I am leading a body break for people to get up from their computers and stretch at Gateway at 10 of the hour. So I need to go change into my yoga clothes and do that. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, Spiff.
Thanks, everybody.
Good teamwork. High five.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn off my mic.
Thanks, everybody.